You know, everybody had their own favorite turtle growing up, and mine always changed. I'm not sure if it was ever Leonardo. It might have been for a short amount of time when I was a simpleton, the age of 4 or 5, because, you know, I admired leadership and integrity back then. As I have come full circle, and now that I've gotten away from the sickness, the viruses of the world, and kind of gotten back to my roots, I've become a much more calm person as an adult, and I can kind of see having Leonardo as your favorite turtle because he's such a positive role model, and, you know, he's nothing but integrity, you know, true blue. But as a kid, my favorite turtle was usually Raphael. I think I identified with his struggle to control his temper, which that's my only real criticism about the cartoon, aside from the fact that it's hokey as all hell. You know, it's that Raphael he jumped the shark in the cartoon. He basically just became a slightly more sarcastic version of Michelangelo, you know, another goofball who said funny things. But that the genius of the turtles is that their different personalities played off of each other so well. You know, they all had their own relationship with each other. That's where a lot of the magic was. And by changing such a gigantic part of one of their personalities, you change the paradigm of the turtle relationships. See, that's what I loved that about the 2007. It wasn't a reboot; it was technically a sequel, even though it presented itself as a reboot. But the CG, the computer animated one, it had Raphael and Leonardo actually coming into clashes with each other. Man, I hate that jump. Over leadership. You know, Raphael was a lone wolf, and Leonardo wanted to be the leader. He wanted to call the shots, even though he has no real authority to do so. And Raphael's the only one in the group who really questioned that. You know, his anger came from a place deep within. And I've always questioned that. I've always been that way. I've always questioned authority, and I've always struggled with anger. And I thought that made Raphael a much more interesting character in the iterations that they were allowed to do that with him. You know, because that's the way they, you know, in the cartoon theme song, Raphael is cool but rude. He wasn't really that rude in the cartoon. But yeah. Other times, you know, Donatello's been my favorite because of his nerdiness, and you can just walk across. Because of his nerdiness and all that, you know, because I've often identified as a nerd as well. And Michelangelo is just the guy that everyone wants to be best friends with. You know, he exists to be happy. And even in the face of certain death, he strives to always be happy. He never lets anything bring him down. And that's always been a good message, and I love that about him, and I love the fact that Michelangelo was usually people's favorites. That's, you know, that's how art changes the world for the better.